How's it going, traders? Papa Wall Street back with another weekend review. Today we're going to look at some of the top tech names in the market and see where we're at. Obviously, tech has been under a lot of pressure, so we're going to see a lot of bearish charts, but maybe we can identify some potential areas of reversal. Please make sure to hit the like and subscribe button down below so you can get these actionable trade updates and chart updates as they come out. And if you can, please leave a comment down below. If you want, watch these videos at 1.5 speed to get through them faster if I'm talking too slow. And of course, keep in mind, this is not financial advice. This is purely for educational purposes only. So quickly, let's dig into the charts. I'm gonna go through these pretty quickly. So you could see here on Apple, we had a nice rising channel. We broke down from that channel, came right into the prior resistance level. Tap that 618 at 133.51. If we lose that level, watch for 120 to come. Next up is AMD. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to turn off volume so we can get through this quicker. So, so here we go. I did have a target down to 84.29 here on AMD. We've been bouncing off those levels for the last few weeks. We had a wicked spinning top last week, came close to that declining 21 weekly moving average, EMA, and basically didn't even touch it. We came through 100, had some nice day trades through 100. It was a really nice confluent, psychological level that we were watching, and caught, a couple of trades, but ultimately, failed that level and came back down. If we get a rally back to the upside, I'm definitely watching AMD back through 100. If we continue to drop, I feel like it's very shortable under 89.29 into my target zone of 72.84. All right, let's take a look at Amazon. I put out a funny chart on this a couple of weeks ago. This is the Bart Simpson top. You can see, you used to see that a lot in crypto, right? But it looks like the top of Bart Simpson's head. But really wicked drawdown here on Amazon through our 250 SMAs. Now we're coming down potentially to 2021. Likely, if we get there, 2000 gets tested, but you could see potential, or we had resistance back here, and here before we broke out. So I would expect this level to get tested anywhere between 2000 and 2021. If we lose those levels, I would be watching 1771 and 1626 to the downside. Baba, absolutely wrecked. It's hard. So many people ask, should we be dollar cost averaging into Baba? I would not be touching Chinese names right now. It's just the political environment is not advantageous to buying the dip here. And buying the dip, honestly, you can buy the dip and it just gets dippier and dippier and dippier. So it's, in this environment, in a bear market environment, it's not the time to buy a dip. It's time to be patient and watch for those counter trend rallies and for that relative strength. Baidu, very similar story, just wrecked chart. Datadog bounced off that 618 at 93.78 and held it. We knew we need to get back over the swing low anchored VWAP from COVID. I think that would give us a signal that maybe we're, potentially going back higher, but right now under 100 does not look good for Datadog. DocuSign, massive reversal on this name, right back down to these prior lows at 66.43. If we get below that level, I think this is very shortable down to about $45. Okay, let's look at Etsy. Coming up on long-term potential support. So watch for this area. What I like about this is not only is it trend line support, right? Low, higher, low, higher, low, higher, low, higher, low, but look at the resistance back here, right? Resistance generally turns into support. So we had a nice breakout, retest, bounce. Watch for a bounce off of this level right here. Nice confluent zone. Next up is Facebook. Watching for a very similar move down to trendline support. So you got a low, a higher low, another higher low. Let's see if we come back down to it. This would be an area I would watch for a bounce back up to 210 or 200 to 210. If we lose that level, then 159 can come to the downside. Next up is Google. Beautiful move higher, a lot of, flags and pennants and finally, flat top, and now we're getting rejected and coming down. So we have a 382. We just lost that. Let's see. Our next fib retracement levels are going to be 2019. Then you have this gap that can get filled, and then all the way down to 1782 at the 200 simple moving average. We also have a gap right below that for that to be potentially filled. So not all gaps need to be filled, but certainly something to keep an eye on. Next up is Lululemon. Watch 268 on Lululemon. We've got the 200 simple moving average right there. It was prior support from prior resistance. I think this is very shortable down to 242. Next up is Microsoft. I have two areas, very long-term trend line. You can see low, higher low into these trend lines. We're coming down there now. Watch for a potential bounce off that level. If we lose that, it should come down to the 200 simple moving average. That for me would be a long-term add right here on Microsoft. Microsoft's not going anywhere. It's going to be around forever. So I would look to get some shares down there. And it's also going to be near 200. So nice psychological level as well. Netflix absolutely wrecked. We're back into the trend line. Let me see. Oh, these trend lines. Bear with me 1 second. Let me clean that up real quick. And let's just zoom out a little further. Yeah, I think we've got a little further to go on Netflix. I think very possible to see 132 in the coming weeks. Chart is absolutely wrecked. All right, here's NVIDIA. NVIDIA coming into long-term trend line support there as well. I zoomed out just so you could see it. But we have a 618 at 159.39 that we bounced at the last 2 weeks. That's in the range of prior resistance at 150. So if we hold here, again, I think this is a nice confluent area. I could also throw on an anchored VWAP from the COVID low. That's exactly where we are right now. So I would watch this 150 to 165 range. Would love to see this start to base here, very similar to what we saw back here. I think if we could start basing in this area, watch for a reversal there. I'm not going to look at pins. PayPal is just another broken chart. ROKU, long-term trend line support here. It's breaking down below that. SE, absolutely wrecked. Shopify, absolutely wrecked. We can't even hold on to the 786 retracement here. I think if we lose the lows of 309 to 300, watch for a move down to 177. I know that sounds crazy, but that's the next area of potential support. Although we are showing a little bit of bullish divergence here, we could always see a counter trend rally back up maybe to the 200, maybe not even that high, but maybe a rally back up to 400, possibly up to 533, but hard to buy shop here. It's just a waterfall down now. We'll skip Snap, Snow, lower low, lower low, lower low, broken chart. Spotify back down to its post-IPO lows of the December 18 lows. It looks like we're holding that level. Not a bad spot here. I mean, I hate buying broken charts, but not a bad spot to take a shot here. Keeping stop loss slightly under 100. Square, block, whatever you want to call it, back into $83, which we're showing as prior resistance here before it broke out. So this is an area I'm certainly closely watching. Another one with bullish divergence. Tesla, I've been talking about this for months now, targeting that 532 to the downside. Looks like we're headed there in the next couple of weeks. That would be the area I would watch for a bounce. It's a 1382 extension off this B wave. It's also our COVID low anchored VWAP. So that would be a reversal area I would be watching for. Twillio, absolutely broken. We can come down to 69.05, right? That is shown to be an area of potential support, right in the zone right here. We don't want to call exact numbers. We want to call zones. So look at that zone right there. It's obviously where we're headed. And last but not least, Zoom. You zoom out and it looks really, really ugly. So that's 10-minute review of my top 10 tech charts. Let me know in the comments below, which one is your favorite name? What are your top 3 names that you're buying on a bounce? Would love to hear back. And like I said, if you like this content, please like and subscribe to my channel. And feel free to leave a comment down below. Would love to have a conversation about some of these names. So have a great rest of your day. Enjoy your weekend. And let's see what the markets have in store for us next week. Take care, everyone.